Welcome back. I'm Justin. I'm here with Deanna Hansen, the founder of Block Therapy and Fluid Isometrics. And Deanna, I want to ask you what I think is a very important question from a big perspective of what's happening to people. So from a posture and breath point of view, which we talked a lot about, how is people's daily use of technology and their personal devices, how's that affecting society, and where do you see that trend going?
Oh, that is such a loaded question. For me personally, I got my first computer 11 years ago. I was determined to never bring technology into my life. I was the body worker. I used to spend my days eyes closed with a candle working on patients. And I really had no interest in technology until it became evident if I wanted to take this practice and get it out of Winnipeg, I needed to at least learn how to send an email. So since then, I have obviously adopted technology as I need to, and I've actually seen a destruction in my own body as a result of that. So, fortunately we can block and we can do the work to undo what that's done. But I think of the youth in particular who are growing up with technology. So this forward alignment that we are always encompassing now, if we're on our computer or the phone or a tablet, whatever it is, if we are growing with that alignment, to me, this is one of the most scary things for the future of our kids, because unlike me, I'm 53 now, computers weren't around when I was a child. So I grew without that negative alignment. So to be constantly in this forward bend with the head forward at a young age, as you're developing, you're blocking your breath, you're blocking your flow of blood to your brain. Also, you're taking your vision and you're becoming very pointed with it, as opposed to being able to sort of look at patterns and see things in an expansive way. We're really training our brains to become very pointed on a tiny little screen. And I think this has massive detrimental effects to health and posture. And it's interesting because Quinn and I, of course, Quinn, my partner in crime on this journey, when in the 80s, I saw a movie by Stephen King called It. And then in 2016, they did a remake, but it was still based in the 80s. So we went and we saw that movie, and it was quite fascinating because they have the hairstyles and the clothes of the kids in the 80s, of which I'm an 80s teenager. I loved it. I love that time in life. Yet I'm looking at these kids on screen and they were so twisted and collapsed. So we came home after the movie, we pulled up the cast from the first movie and then this movie, and their bodies are completely different. They're completely different. And that's the challenge, is when we grow with a lack of breath, we're not developing to the level of health that we should and can have. Now, on the flip side of saying that, we can still reverse it. We can still teach the body, because the body wants to be well, it wants to be healthy. So teaching the kids how to engage proper breathing and create those changes in adhesions and flow in the body can reverse the damage, and it can reawaken their body. So I'm very excited about that. But technology in a nutshell, I feel, for as many amazing benefits as it has, because here you and I are speaking from different provinces, we can speak to people all over the world because of technology. But if it becomes the habit of how we hold our bodies throughout an entire day, there's going to be huge destructive issues for health as a result.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's a very powerful thing to think about, where we could be headed. And yet there's such simple foundational things to focus on, which would alleviate a lot of that. So
Absolutely.